Hello and welcome back to the Mr. Smelly Fragrance Show. Today, a special edition. No clever intro because this is far too serious to make a funny intro about. I'm going to go into the issue that has been ignored by the entire online fragrance community. The YouTube community, as far as I can see, has pretty much ignored this issue. And this is the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard situation. Why has this got anything to do with my channel, a fragrance channel on YouTube? Well, of course, Johnny Depp is probably, I think it's fair to say, the most famous person in the world associated with a fragrance. He is very famous for his association with Dior Sauvage, a very, very successful fragrance. More on that in 1 second. Before we get into that, don't forget, if you want to buy fragrance samples in the USA or Puerto Rico or Canada, use my code MR15 for 15% off across the site. There's a link in the description. Furthermore, it is spring as we film this, and the perfect spring fragrance for men is Bon Viveur by Naughton and Wilson, my brand. In my opinion, master perfumer John Stephen has created this masterpiece of a fantastic citrus sheep breath fragrance. Use the code. We've got a special spring code, BON30. Gets you 30% off the fragrance at naughtonandwilson.com. Follow the link in the description. Great deal. Okay, let's get into it. So, Johnny Depp, of course, a hugely world famous A-list celebrity actor going right back to the late 80s. I think he first emerged, famous for so many roles, but including Pirates of the Caribbean and the many sequels to that one. So Johnny Depp is currently embroiled in a $50 million defamation case against his former partner, Amber Heard. I think this dates back to around about 2016. They were a couple. They split up. Amber Heard then wrote an article. I think the significant thing is an article in the Washington Post from 2018 where she alleged domestic abuse. According to him, this has caused his public reputation huge damage and cost him a lot of money because he's lost film roles and all that kind of thing. Okay, fine. Where do we stand on this in the fragrance community? Why are we silent? It's an interesting case. I want to talk about it. I'll give my 2 pence. The trial's going on at the moment. You can find it on YouTube and on TV. Watch it live. It's very fascinating stuff. I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so the crux of the matter is, should this lady be held accountable and have to pay a huge amount, $50 million compensation to Depp for the damage she's done to his reputation by alleging that he was an abusive partner? I don't know this. I'm going to be careful about the legal details of exactly what she had alleged and exactly where the lines are drawn as well. How do you prove that that was defamation and should he get the money? But the kind of essence of the matter is, what was the stuff she alleged that he did true? I'm not sure of all the details, but he was alleged to be a very, I think, psychologically and at times even physically abusive partner towards her. If that was the case, of course, that's terrible, that's wrong. And I remember when this story came out, 2016, we were all talking about Dior Sauvage. Actually, let's talk about that 2015 release. Johnny Depp was the face of this new, incredibly successful fragrance from Dior made by perfumer François Demarchi. It is the biggest selling masculine fragrance, I think, in the world, and the numerous flankers that we have now, the Eau de Parfum, the Elixir version, similarly are doing extremely well for the brand. I think it may be the biggest smelling fragrance, full stop, in the world. I don't know, but it's definitely a huge success. And he's been the face of every advertising campaign of the original Eau de Toilette and the follow-ups. Is great. Famous masculine fragrance. It's not one of my absolute favorites, but it's a big deal in the world of fragrances, no doubt about that. People around the world, whoever you are, have probably heard of this fragrance, and if they say, who is the man that is associated with this fragrance, not the whole entire population of the world, but probably tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of people may know that it's Johnny Depp. So this relates directly to our fragrance community, and no one else is talking about it, so I'm going to do it. So what's the ins and outs of this case? And interesting stuff then on the fragrance thing. Dior have stuck by Johnny Depp, as far as I can see. There are numerous videos. It's the most recently release from Dior, I think was a 2021 release to do with this line, was Sauvage Elixir. And there's a video with him talking to the perfumer François Demarchi, and he's got his guitar there. They're having a very artistic, in-depth conversation about the inspiration behind the fragrance and all kinds of interesting things. These things are still up on the Dior YouTube page, as far as I can see, so they are still okay with Johnny Depp being associated with their brand and with their fragrance. So credit to them for sticking by, because he is innocent until proven guilty, although I suspect their decision would come more down to pounds, shillings and pence. So if they had taken the decision that it wasn't financially in their interest to stick with him as the face of the fragrance, I think he would have been given the boot. But so far, it must be that it's still working out okay. I think the fragrance still sells incredibly well. But it was bad for Johnny Depp because his reputation back then was really, really tarnished. I got the idea that it was generally accepted that he was an abusive partner to Amber Heard when this information first surfaced about 2016, and then it seems the specific legal focus of this case may be this later 2018 article, but certainly it tarnished his name because I wasn't that interested. I was casually interested. I thought, oh yeah, that's bad. He's obviously abused his partner, but I didn't know that. So in many people's minds around the world, this man's reputation certainly has been tarnished. No, I don't think there's really any doubt about that. The question is, was it fair? Was it okay? That's a really hard thing for me to answer, but I'll give you the outline of what I've seen of the case. I've been watching avidly the trial. It's very, very interesting stuff. Okay, so Johnny Depp, definitely, it does appear, is a guy with some issues. He pretty much admits that. Okay, so he's got a long history of being a user of illicit drugs, no doubt about that. Cocaine, various pills. He likes marijuana. So yeah, he likes to take, or has at least in the past, been an avid user of illegal drugs. No question about that. He's describing an incident where he was having some cocaine with Marilyn Manson. He gave him a pill because he was fed up of, I don't know what kind of pill, but a pill to stop him talking so much. He was fed up of Marilyn Manson talking so much. And some of the things actually coming out in the trial are very humorous. That was a little humorous anecdote. And Depp also has had his run-ins with alcohol. Sometimes he was apparently in the relationship supposedly not drinking. And Amber Heard was of course, Amber Heard, by the way, a not quite as famous, but still an actress, a celebrity of some world renown. Okay, so Depp had alcohol issues and drug issues. Amber Heard was not happy, particularly about some of the drinking and the drug stuff, and at times he was supposed to be not doing it. So there's no doubt, really, that this guy would be a difficult person to be with. He likes to take drugs. He likes to drink too much. There's an incident where he's accused of pouring a mega pint of wines shortly after having got up, I think, in the middle of an argument which Amber Heard was filming. And the mega pint was the term used by the representative for Amber Heard when examining Johnny Depp. I'll get back to that gentleman in a moment. So this has been Depp then questioned the term mega pint, a rather comical term. I've never heard it myself. There's also, in the same video, he's smashing up a few cupboards. He admits to assaulting some cupboards, which is, again, kind of funny. But not if you were there, I guess. So, yeah, definitely that's not the kind of behaviour most people would enjoy being around. But on the other hand, it's not physical abuse of your partner. It's unpleasant behaviour, but what it appears that it has been strongly implied by Heard, if not directly alleged. I'm not entirely sure that there was physical violence towards her. And so far, we haven't seen any conclusive evidence of that. So, okay, maybe he's a messed up guy. Maybe he takes drugs. Maybe he drinks too much. Maybe he gets pretty wild and crazy. And he's a very, very difficult person to be with. But that doesn't mean he should have his name smeared for all eternity as someone who perpetrated consistent psychological and or physical abuse on his partner. So this is the interesting thing. Okay, so let's look on the other side. So definitely Johnny Depp, difficult guy, mixed up. But on the other hand, Amber Heard has clearly been recording him a lot of the time. She made loads of recordings of him, and that's a little bit, of course, yeah, maybe if you're in that position, you're desperate, you're being abused by your partner, you're at the end of your wit's end, you just want to share it with somebody, or maybe you are thinking, I need legal evidence, you might record them, but sometimes it can appear a little bit like she's calculating too much. She appears to be talking too calmly while these things are going on, perhaps leading him in directions where he might admit that stuff's gone on in the past. So I think there's a little bit of cynicism, maybe, that one could perceive in the way that she's recorded him, and been very careful to preserve these recordings. You can certainly say that. Also, Amber Heard apparently threw a vodka bottle at Johnny Depp because she was upset because he was drinking when he was supposed to not be drinking. Apparently, according to Depp, this happened and the bottle shattered the end of one of his fingers. There's some graphic footage of this. Now, again, I don't think Amber Heard's side is accepting that that's what happened. There may have been some, I think they are implying he actually did the crime to himself. This is interesting. So obviously, if she did that, if she threw a vodka bottle at him, that's pretty serious. And if it did that to his finger, that's her being the abuser, at least in that instance. So I think both of these people are messed up. Again, allegedly, there's been an incident where the police were called and Depp hit Amber Heard, but there is very much a debate about whether there's any evidence of that. The police person who responded says they didn't see any evidence of this. Nobody else seems to have seen any physical evidence of a mark on Amber Heard. So It's a very, very interesting, complex, nuanced case. And also something happened today, very fascinating. A lady came in, rather fetching, a blonde lady who is a psychological expert who had apparently been involved in, I think, trying to have some therapy or something with Amber Heard before we got to this point. I'm not quite sure when and what happened here, but anyway, she has done some kind of profile of Amber Heard based on their time that they spent together. I think not connected with this case, but just trying, I think in therapy, with Amber Heard. I'm not the expert on this case. And she has said that she believes Amber Heard has shown symptoms which pretty much to her demonstrate that she is bipolar. And I'm not sure the exact term for all the afflictions that this lady has, but she's got some personality disorders, including being bipolar and a kind of histrionic thing. I'm not sure. Of course, it weakens Amber Heard's case to defend herself against this defamation suit, because it suggests maybe she is a little bit unhinged and therefore might be inclined to behave in a manipulative way and make accusations which are false. So there's two sides to this story. Also, we've got this rather interesting person representing Amber Heard. One of her representatives, the lawyer or whatever you call him, is somebody called Mr. Rottenborn, which is surely the most unfortunate name for a solicitor or lawyer to have. I mean, he should change his surname. I presume they've hired top people paying top dollar. They're not short of money, either of these people. So the poor guy, that is just an unfortunate name for someone working in the legal world. I mean, it's a combination of the word born and rotten. So, I mean, if I was him, I would change that to good born or something, because and if I was her, I would be like, picking the lawyer, I would say, no, I'm not having someone called Rottenborn. And of course, many people in the comments and stuff who are watching this on live stuff are, nicknaming him Rotten Head or whatever. So that's not helping a case, I don't think. All right. And he keeps getting pulled up, Johnny Depp, for hearsay. Everything he says, he kept getting interrupted the other day. And this Rottenborn's guy was going, hearsay, hearsay, objection, objection. I don't know how all that works, but it seemed like he could hardly get a word out at one point without it being called hearsay, which I guess in court, you've got to just stick to the facts, not offer your opinions too much if you are the witness under interrogation. It's very fascinating stuff. Okay, so overall, the problem is for Miss Heard here. A lot of people are already beginning to say, the overwhelming stuff that I'm reading online seems to be in support of Johnny Depp. Is that just because he's more famous and more well-liked? Let me know what you think. Am I biased? Are we all biased because I'm a man? Am I being biased in favour of Depp because I want to side with him against the woman? Is the whole world, even some women observing this, a little bit biased against women? Are we all playing into the idea that they're all unhinged and crazy and Johnny Depp must therefore be the good guy? I don't know. Is the jury going to be swayed by the fact that Johnny Depp so far is coming across as quite a likeable, humorous character? He's making a few funny interjections, pulling some funny faces, having a few little goes back at the person interrogating him, or examining him, cross-examining him. Amber Heard, I don't know. We haven't heard really from her yet, but she looks a little bit po-faced. Not sure about her choice of outfit. The other day she was wearing a pure all black outfit, bit funereal, makes her look a little bit less sympathetic than the obviously rather charismatic Johnny Depp. So it's really, really fascinating. My overall take on this, is that it looks to me, and we need your views, guys, in the comments down below. Let me know if you're here from outside the fragrance world. Maybe you were just searching for a video about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Let us know your thoughts. I'd be interested to hear that. Also, people in the fragrance community, should Dior stick with Johnny Depp until he's proven guilty, which he may very well not be, of any of these misdemeanors? In fact, he's not on trial, but let's say until he wins or loses this defamation case, even if it goes either way, should Dior stick with him? Do you think he's a good representative for the brand of Sauvage? I mean, I think he kind of fits in with Sauvage, means wild in French, and he's that. I'll give him that. Okay, my take on it, my gut feeling is I do tend to find him a sympathetic character for what I've seen in the court case so far. And I've got to be honest, I mean, I'm not somebody who wears actually Sauvage. I've got it because of my channel. But I'd be more interested to say, maybe I should try Sauvage Elixir. I'm not going to, I don't think, but I've been more inclined to take an interest in Sauvage and his association with the brand since watching this. And I've actually thought, maybe I might, I've never really watched many Johnny Depp films. Maybe I've thought, maybe I'm going to check out some of his films. Are they good ones that I should start with, guys? Let me know, because I'm not really someone who watches a lot of his movies at all. But because he's coming across as an interesting, kind of funny, sort of likable character so far in court, I'm kind of warming to the guy. And that, that is a significant thing, because This is probably helping his brand so far. However this case goes, people are warming to him and thinking he's a nice guy. Is he going to become the poster boy for men's rights? Because a lot of people are saying it's not fair. A lot of men suffer domestic abuse. A lot of people, of course, think Amber Heard was abusing Johnny Depp, not the other way around. And it's coming across a little bit that way in court, although there are two sides to the story. The lady who was giving the medical evidence has been strongly suggesting that Amber Heard has personality disorders. That's going to sway a lot of people. She seemed like a star witness for the Depp side, although the problem is with her, she does seem to be very friendly with the Depp side. It turns out, well, I don't know how this works legally, but anyway, she's been summoned, or what's the word, retained by the Depp side, and it turns out she's been to his house and met with his legal team, and he was there too, and dinner and drinks were served. So is she really an unbiased witness? And how come the in-depth details of these therapy sessions or whatever interactions she had with Miss Heard are being shared for the whole world to see? Should that not be confidential and private? Should you go to someone, share intimate details of your personality and things that would expose you as having issues and a disorder, and then that person turns up in court after having dinner with the person that you're in a legal battle with and dishes all the dirt on you? I don't know how that works. So I'm kind of trying to be even-handed here, but I warm to Johnny Depp. I think that it's okay that he's still the face of this brand. My gut feeling is they were just in a really messed up relationship, two messy people, two damaged, dysfunctional people in a very unpleasant, dysfunctional relationship. I suspect that there was a certain amount of psychological abuse, probably from her towards him. Possibly he has some culpability too, but I'm leaning towards the view that the allegations she's made about him and the way that she's tarnished his name were unfair. He's probably a very difficult character, but I don't get the feeling he's the monster that she's portrayed him as. Definitely, somebody with massive issues, passing out in the sand and all this stuff that we've heard happen to him. And I think he kind of admits that, but I don't get the feeling that it would be fair to portray their very bad relationship as one mainly characterized by him abusing her. I think there was probably some bad behavior on both sides, but I think both of them are very sick puppies indeed, although very wealthy and very fortunate puppies compared to the rest of us. And with all the other stuff going in the world, perhaps this doesn't matter. But I made a video on it anyway. Please subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed it. That would be great. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'll see you next time. Hope you didn't mind this impromptu, unedited video. Fragcomm, let's discuss Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. Discuss. Good night, guys. Bye-bye.